Is it starting? Did it start yet? There it goes. I'm live. Hey, what's up, everybody? All right. So, this is totally on a whim here, but I wanted to say hi and come and pop on and do live. I am going to be going live every Wednesday morning about 9:15 and then at 9:30 in my VIP group. I will probably be doing 15 minutes in here and then 30 minutes in there because we got to give them a little bit extra. My VIPs, the ones that are in my programs, of course. Anyways, I just wanted to say hi, everyone. I have been kind of, I wouldn't say hiding, but I have been taking some rest. Um, I did get some labs done. I was feeling like extra super tired, and I've been sick from whatever sickness the kids brought home since probably like a month now. And so I went and got some labs done because I felt like I shouldn't be this this down and fatigued for so long, especially with, working out every day and eating healthy and taking my supplements. So I went and got some stuff done, and they came back with the possibility of an autoimmune disorder. It's not the news that I wanted to hear, but again, it is not diagnosed yet, so it could be something totally different. We just don't know yet. So it does kind of explain some of the things why I have been super tired and you know TMI, but some digestive issues going on as well. But it doesn't give me the excuse to not show up and at least say hi and let y'all know what's going on in the world of me. Anyways, also does not stop me from doing my breathwork classes twice a week right now, which are my favorite things to do because they are so transformative and I always get really good feedback from them. And I love, of course, popping on with everybody in the Zoom and hearing how their day is going. Anyways, so I wanted to just kind of go through a short little tapping exercise. I don't know if any of y'all caught my live from last week, but I did a tapping exercise on food cravings. And I'm actually getting a lot of success with my clients with this. It's something new that I added to my repertoire. And I have actually two new things that I learned as far as tapping and hypnosis. These things are kind of where I'm combining them. So I like to combine things. So I've been, combining breath work with hypnosis, and now I'm combining tapping with the hypnosis. And these are fun little exercises that don't take a whole lot of time. So I was gonna come on here and just do a short exercise as far as tapping on a food that you're struggling with. Now, when you are struggling with anything in life, now this could be food addictions, this could be anxiety, this could be sleeping disorders, it could be even just like the feeling of overwhelm. When you think about a tree, so you have your roots of the tree, you have your trunk, the branches, and the leaves. So when you have symptoms such as the symptoms that I discussed here or named off, those are the leaves. So they show up in the leaves as something that's going on in your life that you feel like you can't control. And when you start to get down to it and you go down the branches of the tree to the trunk to the roots, it's really just a root cause that is causing these symptoms to show up. So, for instance, symptom over here is a craving or emotional eating, and that's the leaves. And then you get down to the trunk, and you um, might say that it's just you have trouble losing weight. And then you get down to the root cause, And it could be something like low self worth or self doubt, not trusting yourself, no confidence. So when you get down to like those really deep, like the deep rooted causes of something that's showing up as a symptom, then you can apply it to multiple things in your entire life. So this could be relationships, it could be money, it could be um, just how you present yourself in the world, like how confident you are walking into a room, and food. So, since we are a freedom from food addictions, why not go through a short little tapping exercise where we can release some of those food cravings, food addictions? So, as we're going through this exercise, we're going to go back to a time and place that's more than likely in your childhood. A lot of these injuries and traumas happen, and I say traumas, like it doesn't have to be like a big T trauma, which is like abuse or anything. Like traumas to your child self could be as something as mom and dad ignored me, brother told me to go away. So these show up as um, things like negative energies that when your child self was not getting their needs met, it harbors itself inside the core of your being, inside of your body, and it stays there and causes issues and just continues to reharm itself every time that you get that evidence that, yeah, I am not loved, I am not wanted, and just really takes root and affects multiple areas of your life. So, as we're going through the exercise, that was kind of a tangent, sorry about that. We're going through the exercise, we are going to think of yourself as your child's self, and you'll go back to, and basically you're trusting your subconscious to know where to go and what event to go to. So, your subconscious mind, whatever pops up in your head, even if it sounds crazy, if it sounds made up, it knows what event is causing the issues. So you go back, even if it's not a big event to you or it's something that you don't even remember, and you heal that event, then you start healing all the events after it. And when you get to the really big nitty gritty ones, then that's when you start to, like, you don't have to heal every single event that has ever happened to you in your entire life, but you get back to that one big juicy one, and it starts to heal multiple areas of your life, and multiple events start to be reframed to be something as a positive rather than a negative. So again, to run through our little tapping thing, if any of y'all have done tapping or you came to my live last week, you might have an idea of how to do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to start what's called our karate chop point. Let me move this so you can actually see me. So it's basically the fleshy part of your hand right here. You're going to take 2 to 3 fingers and you're going to tap about 10 to 15 times on this point. And as we're saying these affirmations, or we're saying not necessarily affirmations, but essentially we're starting out with negatives and we're clearing them. And as we're saying each thing, we're just going to go through our points. So we start with a karate chop, and it's up to you. I like to start with the top of my head. Some people like to start with the front of their eyebrow. So for me, we're going to run through this while starting at the top of your head after the karate chop point. And this is basically the crown of your head, like 3 fingers, 2 to 3 fingers. And you don't have to have it exact, just as long as you're in the general area. So we're starting at the top of the head. We're just kind of tapping. Then we're going to start at the front of the eyebrow. It does not matter which hand you use, which side you do. If you do 2 sides at one time, it's really up to you. Do the front of the eyebrow. Then we do the side of the eye at the end of the eyebrow. Then we'll do underneath the eye, underneath the nose, underneath the chin, or under the lip, on the chin, the crease, little crease right here. We're going to do the start of the clavicle underneath the clavicle. So you have your little bone right here that's a little notch. That's where the start of your clavicle is. Clavicle is this bone that runs there. You want to go underneath it, just midline of that, just kind of to the side of that little notch. And then you'll go underneath the arm, right about, you can see this, bra area for women. You can see my deodorant. I have it on, so I'm not stinky. All right. So that's the run through. We are going to do this all together, so don't worry about if you don't know all the points. Don't worry about it if you skip a point. It's all good, okay? So what I want you to do is think about a food that calls to you. It's like a major super duper craving that whenever you see it in a room that you have either no resistance on going to get it, whether you told yourself that you weren't going to eat bad or whatever, or you have a lot of desire to go eat it. And sometimes you can stop yourself, but not all the time. So for me, that's cakes and cookies, chocolate chip cookies specifically. I really like the ooey gooey straight out of the oven cookies. Or if anybody knows what Tiff's treats are, oh my God, those are so good. So yeah, chocolate chip cookies were a big thing that I started with the tapping on. So you're gonna think about that food, and I want you to really like think about it. Like close your eyes, sniff it in as if you're actually like it's in front of you. Smell it. Rate that desire on a scale of 0 to 10. So 0 is not very desirable, and 10 is like, oh my God, it needs to be in my mouth like now. And then once you have your number, I want you to imagine in your mind's eye that you're pushing the food away. You're pushing it across the table about 2 feet in front of you, and just push it out. And we're going to go ahead and start tapping. So we're starting with the fleshy part of our hand, remember? And you're just going to say some things that might sound negative at first, but we're going to change them into positive. But oh my gosh, that food looks really good. And you can change it to whatever food it is that you have in front of you. For me, I'll just say chocolate chip cookies. It's really hard for me to push away those chocolate chip cookies. These chocolate chip cookies look so good. It's hard for me to resist them. Just thinking about that ooey gooey, fresh out of the oven, chocolate chip cookies. And how good they smell. How good they taste. And I want you, if it's safe to do so, to close your eyes if they're not already closed. And just go back to a time in your life when you were a kid. Again, most likely when you're ages 0 to 7. And I want you to go back to an event. It doesn't matter what the event is. but it's an event that you might have felt alone, or somebody was yelling at you. It's a negative event. Just whatever pops up first, even if it seems like it's made up. And as we're tapping through the points, I want you to think about the event and the emotion that's coming up for you. What is your child self feeling? And if you can put an age on it, try to see what age you are at this moment. What's happening? What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? And just stay in that moment and try to put an emotion on that as you tap through the points. And if you need to open your eyes to see what points I'm tapping to follow along, even though I feel really scared, even though I feel unloved, even though I am confused, and I don't know how to express myself. I still love and accept myself. And what we're going to do as we tap through the points is I want you to imagine your adult self, the self that you are right now. And I want you to take your adult self and put them in the situation with your child self. And as we tap through the points, I want your adult self to just give your child self a big hug. And as we tap through the points, I want you, as your adult self, to tell your child self, it's okay, I'm here. And as you're giving your child self a hug, maybe stroking their hair, looking into their eyes, I will not abandon you. I love you. I'm here for you. Anytime you need me, just call out and I will be there. You are safe. You are loved. Everything's going to be okay. And as you're there with your child self, giving them a big hug, I want you to imagine a giant golden bubble. As we're tapping through the points, giant golden bubble that's encasing you both, kind of like a snow globe. Just a giant golden bubble that's keeping you safe, keeping you protected. As you're thinking about this bubble, feel that safety, feel that warmth, feel that comfort, knowing that you are always there for your child self. And your child self always has that ability to ask for you to be there if they need you. And go ahead and take a deep breath in. All right, you can stop tapping. Go ahead and come to the now. And I want you to think about that food. Again, for me, it's the chocolate chip cookies. And I want you to rate again your level of desire from 0 to 10. And if you want to, you can put your starting and end number in the chat. It's always fun to see just how, like, that was maybe like a 6-7 minute tapping exercise, how long, or just in that little short exercise, how much the number moves on that scale to 0 to 10. So if you feel comfortable in doing so, you can put what your food was in your starting number and your ending number. Now, this is an exercise I typically will do 3 or 4 times because we want to get that number, even if it was right at a 10, we want to get that number all the way down to a 0. And when you get that number down to a 0, it essentially, for one, heals that traumatic event or negative event that's been stuck in your body. It heals that event from your childhood. Of course, other events may, they stack on each other. So they come up usually each time that you do this. But you also create that craving, like it's basically erased. So you can do this on every food that you have an issue with, and you can continue to do this with each event as well. And as you start to heal these, then it starts to stack on itself and heal other events without even having to go through the whole tapping experience again. So I do have to pop over to my VIP group, but I want to say again, this is something I do 3 or 4 times to really get that number from a 10 to a 0, or whatever number it was, all the way down to a 0 is what we want. So if you want to go back through this live, watch it again over and over, do the same exercise and do it 3 to 4 times until you're sure that you have that craving number down to a 0, and then you'll be able to heal that. Awesome. 7 to a 3. That's awesome. I love that. So yeah, chocolate chip macadamia cookies. Those are really good, especially from Tiff's as well. Those are Tiff's treats, man. They got the hold on the market over here. If y'all know, you know. Anyways, thank you much. I am going to pop over to my VIP group, and I will see y'all every Wednesday. This is going to be a regular thing between 9 and 9:15. I will pop on, do a little 15 to 20 minute exercise with you. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Bye.